Okay, we're joined here this evening by Paul Doolin, the new manager for Athlone Town. You're very welcome to the club, Paul.
Cheers, Simon. Thank you.
It's been a bit of a hectic week, as you can imagine, here in the club with Adrian Carberry's departure and your own arrival. You might just explain how it all came about that you ended up as manager of the club?
Yeah, well, to be honest, Simon, I was in work. I got a phone call there the other morning and didn't know the voice on the end of the phone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And he says hello. And I said, yeah, how are you? And he says, you might want to sit down because I couldn't tell you the last time I spoke to Michael.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was doing the 19s, I might have been down here and I would have come across it then. And he says, Michael O'Connor. And I said, I said, I wonder if Michael O'Connor's ringing me, because at that time I hadn't a clue about Adrian Carberry not being at the club anymore.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And that's the first contact I have. You see, Eamon, it's like this. Over my years, I'm a professional coach, so I know how difficult it is to be a coach at any professional club or any football club. It's tough work. So I'm not in the business of knifing anybody in the back, because I've been out of football, as you've just said.
Yeah.
So some people do it, some people won their way in. I don't. Someone wants to give me a job, perfect. Athlone, ask me, delighted to come down, delighted.
You met Michael later on that day after the phone call.
I did indeed, yeah.
And apparently, from what he tells me, you interviewed him rather than he interviewing you.
Well, I think
you were making sure the club was a fit for you.
Well,
you weren't
I think first and foremost, to anyone that sort of has been involved with me, remember, I wasn't as lucky as other managers, let's be fair, because the way it used to be done goes back was, what sort of playing career do you have? So, my playing career was really good. I had to start down the bottom. Some managers are lucky, as I said, they get jobs at really top clubs at the moment, where I didn't. So it's not, nobody ever gives you a job when they're first in the table or second in the table. So it's not beyond me to come down to a club like Athlone. It's a great setup, I think, and as I said, I'm looking forward to it.
Your own career, I mean, it's well known. I mean, as a player, you won pretty much everything there was to win, and as a manager as well, you won pretty much everything there was to win. You were Republic of Ireland under-19 manager for I think 5 or 6 years until 2016, and then you disappeared a little bit off the radar. But you haven't been out of football, though. I mean, I know of late you've been with Swords Celtic.
Yes, I was. You're right there. I mean, I think I had a managerial career about 12 years. You know, I really enjoyed it. You know, again, when I look back, it's when I took over Drogheda, even what's here at the moment in Athlone is absolutely brilliant. When I go back to the time I started in Drogheda, you know, it was a tough gig as well too, because as I said, you don't get it when you're second. I think Drogheda were third from bottom at the time. Yeah. And I had a great time there at the club, to go from where we were to be a full-time club competing, and probably possibly over the 2 legs might have knocked out Dynamo Kiev in the Champions League. Yeah. So it was brilliant, and where I started was at UCD, which was a brilliant grounding for me, I have to say. So much I learned in those, because let's be fair, you see it throughout the world. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm a great player, but a lot of great players don't make great managers. And it was just a brilliant time, probably when I left UCD, and I really enjoyed that as well, because like when people talk about coaches, I've sort of coached at most levels, right from the off. UCD were a lot of younger players, scholarship scheme, and great system, and then I went to Drogheda obviously, and then the sad thing was probably what happened, Damon, which is a history throughout the league going back them times. And so then I ended up in Cork City for the year, which was really brilliant as well too. I really enjoyed it down there. A lot of great players, and you know, just maybe at the wrong time possibly. You know, we qualified for Europe and it was tough. Yeah. You know, so then I obviously took the 19s, and that was a brilliant experience too, I have to say. I really enjoyed it, even though I had European football as a player and a coach, and then to get the international job, like the standard of football in that age group, it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, some of the results we got and the performances, they were superb over the years. And I'm not just saying that, like if they weren't, I'd be honest. And as I said, I was in Swords Celtic. Bobby Brown, who I played with Bobby at Shells, and he contacted me there. He took over Swords last year and asked me would I go back. I wasn't really doing an awful lot on a regular basis. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. Players were good, great facility as well. I'm not sure if you're aware of the Swords. It's like the facilities are absolutely brilliant out there.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. So I'm not coming from, let's say, the couch.
Yeah. So you've spoke a lot there about players and good players and bad players. You've met the Athlone players here
Yeah,
on Tuesday night
yeah.
for the first time when you took the training session. How did you find the players?
Well, I have to say, it's probably like anything, even probably when I was a player too. When somebody comes in as a manager, players want to impress, and there was certainly a lot of enthusiasm, and there's some like a lot of really good players, I have to say. And I mean, I think the players know themselves as well. They probably should be a little bit closer to the playoff, at least at the moment, you know. Eamon. And as I said to them there the other night, really very good, but you don't get a job if everything's going well, so there's something wrong. And judging by what I've seen and just checking at certain things, there seems to be a lot of goals going in at the moment, you know. So maybe that's something that we could probably
That's one of your
have a look at. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Priority for you at the moment. What are you? You mean you've got 8 games now to the end of the season. What are the priorities now between now and the end of the season?
Well, I think, as I was just saying to the players, I think down through the years, like 8 weeks is not an awful lot. When I first took Drogheda, I think we had 14 weeks and we were second from bottom.
Yeah.
And we were hoping that they were club or saying to just even the playoff, but we avoided the playoff as well. We got up and stayed up, and then we went from third from bottom to fourth with the same group the next year, which would be good enough now for some managers to keep their jobs and get themselves into Europe, you know. So I'm here for the 8 weeks. As I said, I'm delighted to get the opportunity, and then we'll see how it goes. I'm there, and also too, you see, this is why, I like as I said, I still keep in touch with the league, and I see managers, and they're getting 3 years and 4 years and whatever. You see, if I think I'm not able to do anything, I won't be trying to save myself and spin the yarn or whatever. I mean, I tell the truth. Sometimes it's not always great for your career, but I won't be saving myself. Like, if I don't think that I can improve things here, and I think I can, because that's what I'm good at. 8 weeks, whether you can try and get up there, only time will tell. But as I said, I'm honest, and if I didn't think I could do anything, I wouldn't have come down. And if I don't think I can do anything, well, then I'd be the first to say, look, you know. And it gives the club an opportunity as well. I wouldn't be saying, oh no, I want the 8 weeks and 2 more years. Not a chance, you know. So I'm happy to do what I'm doing.
Good. Last question. We have Galway tomorrow night. Big game.
Certainly is, but I think, to be fair, all the games are going to be big now, because of the position that like we find ourselves in. Galway are a good club, they're a full-time club, and apparently a lot of good players there. But sure, there's a lot of good players here as well. And as I said, if we can sort of maybe tighten up a bit, maybe, and hopefully, because there is a lot of talent going forward, you know, and I'm looking forward to the game. And as I said, we can only wait and see.
Oh, listen, that's been brilliant. Listen, you're a straightforward, honest man.
Yeah,
Great
no
interview.
problem, man.
Thank you very much.
No problem,
and the best
man.
of luck for the 8 games.
Appreciate that.